Welcome to Business Talk, presented in collaboration with the University of Rio Grande and the Ohio State University South Centers, from the heart of southeastern Ohio at the University of Rio Grande TV studio. Our goals are simple: promote the University of Rio Grande and the Ohio State University South Centers, as well as advocate local small business and their support organizations. More importantly, promote southeastern Ohio as a wonderful place to live, explore, and learn. There are many different ways you can find us. The University of Rio Grande Cable Access Channel 17, live online at blogtalkradio.com, and on YouTube if you are unable to catch our show live. Introducing our co-hosts, Jason Winters, Mike Thompson, Patrick Dengel. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hey, welcome back to our show. We have a really good lineup of broadcasts today, and I'm a little bit partial to the broadcast that we have at our 1 o'clock. And one of the reasons being is in a long time ago, when I was in college, activities were very, very important to college students, and especially the fun kinds of things. But more importantly, as I have seen, those activities really helped me as an individual. And I don't know about you, Jason. I know that you probably studied 6, 7, 8 hours a day.
Of course I did, absolutely.
And
that's the message. I'm sticking to it.
And up in Ohio State University in Columbus, they had a building called
the library.
The library, which was a
it was on High Street as well.
Yes, yes. And some individuals frequented that library in case their mom would call asking where they were. Well, the student would say, well, they're at the library. But activities are not necessarily in drinking and not necessarily in partying. Those activities were not considered those important things that really made us into people who we are. What really made us was the kind of activities that were involved with community and with the university and all the different things, etc. And that's why I'm very appreciative of our guest today. Let's see, who we have
Dena Warren.
Dena Warren. And Dena has been involved with the University of Rio Grande Community College for 8 years? 7 years? Well, we'll ask her. And it's my understanding that she's the director of residential life and student activities. And she's also an alcohol and other drugs prevention coordinator. And it's been her fortune to bring on one of the students. She is an intern, Shelby, and we'll find out more about Shelby. So, Dena, we want to welcome you to the to our business talk.
Okay.
You know, Dena, I find it interesting when we look at business. You know, it's all about customer service, and the University of Rio Grande really is a business. And our customers are the students that we have here on campus. And how do we make them happy? It's not always in a classroom. Right. Sometimes we make them kind of miserable in a classroom. Sometimes. And I'm guilty of that occasionally, especially now that we're coming into midterm time. But we have a lot of activities on campus that bring satisfaction to our customers, and that's what I really want to talk to you about. And also we have a guest coming on. One of the students is going to share some of her experiences as well. But before we get into that, why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, what brought you to Rio Grande, and how long you've been here, as Pat was mentioning earlier.
Okay. Well, my name is Dena Warren, and I was actually born and raised in Gallipolis, Ohio. So, you know, this is my home. I came to the university as an undergrad in 1990, and I finished my bachelor's degree in 95. It was a great experience for me as far as my education, and I enjoyed being close to home and in college. But the one thing that I didn't do in my undergrad was I didn't get involved in campus life. I didn't join groups or organizations. I didn't participate in lots of campus activities. And that's probably the one thing that I missed the most.
So were you a commuter student at that point?
I was. I commuted. And like a lot of other commuter students, you know, you come to school, you do your classes, you go home because you have, you know, your family and your job. And actually, you know, back in the early 90s, we didn't have we didn't have the red zone, we didn't have the cafeteria, you know, we had the rat skeller, and if you were a smoker, you went there, and you wanted to play some pool in the dark, you went there, but it really wasn't, it wasn't a good spot for the majority of the students that were on campus. I came back out in 2004 because I was contract personnel doing some of the alcohol and drug prevention, and so I've been on campus in some form or fashion since then. The University of Rio Grande is actually one of the beginning college campuses that was an underage drinking grant. So we were one of the first 19, and now there's about 54 in the state of Ohio, and we continue that grant. The dollars have decreased over the years, and but the prevention services I don't think have. We try to do what we can to make sure that we offer healthy alternatives, healthy lifestyles, and healthy choices, and I maintain that grant even today in my current position.
So now that we have our guest with us here at the table, why don't you introduce our guest?
Okay, well, this is Shelby Pickens, and Shelby is a junior here at the university, and she's actually in her second year as my intern for student activities. She has been a blessing in disguise to me. She does all of the things that I can't do. She's a residential student, so when I'm not here at 10 o'clock at night to wrap up bongo ball, she does it for me. So I'll let Shelby talk a little bit about herself.
Yeah, Shelby, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you come from, and what brought you to Rio Grande.
I live in Racine, Ohio. I came here as a freshman. I started out at the Meigs branch, and after one semester at the Meigs branch, I decided to join track and field, and in doing that, I moved up here and became a residential student. I've worked for Dena now for 2 years, and I love every minute of it, and it's just been a great time so far.
So you're a student athlete. Well, tell us a little bit about what do you do in track?
Right now in track, I'm a 400 runner, and I do the hurdles, both the 100 and the 400 hurdles. I'm in relays, and I do pretty much anything else they ask me to do.
Very interesting. What are you majoring in?
Physical therapy.
Physical therapy.
So I'm in the pre-portion of that.
Fantastic. Now tell us a little bit about the internship. What do you do for Dena other than wrapping up her bongo ball?
I do a variety of different things. This year I headed on the Bevo Francis Cancer Walk with the other intern Silas, and we went around getting donations. We helped get the word out about the walk, organized it the best that we've seen fit, and had Dena as kind of our guidance to help us do so. We do a lot of different activities with the students, and we get a lot of feedback from whether they think the activities we do are successful and what they'd like to see on campus.
What kind of feedback do you get from the students?
It could be anywhere from they really like the activity to the feedback almost not even being said, as we don't see a lot of people show up, which we would love to see change. But some activities that we do, whether it be with an RA or whether it be just an open campus-wide activity, we do see people come out, we see them enjoy it, and we get that let's do that again feeling.
One of the things I see all the time are emails that come across with different activities. Rio's Got Talent, wasn't that one of the activities we had here recently?
Yes, and it's coming up again shortly.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Rio's Got Talent is an activity that we have that allows the students to showcase what they can do, not only in their studies, but in the general entertainment field. And that's coming up on March the 29th, so if you guys want to come and join, it's a lot of fun.
What are some of the other events that we actually have coming up?
On the 15th, we're also going to have bubble soccer, and if you've never done that before, it's quite a treat.
Say that again?
Bubble soccer?
Bubble soccer. Now
Yes.
tell me what bubble soccer, I know what soccer is, I'm not good at it, but what's bubble?
Well, anyone's good at bubble soccer. It's a big bubble that you're encased in, and you get to hit people with it. It's a blast to watch almost as much as it is to play.
Do you play?
No, I take pictures,
Dena's an
but
expert.
I don't play. I'm too old to play.
Maybe we need a faculty and staff for a little comedy relief.
Only if the EMS is parked close.
Well,
It gets a little violent. Not like bad violent, just like the kids get a little competitive. So I guess I shouldn't say I have a violent act.
is that like the softball game that they used to have?
Yeah, we still have that every September.
Yeah, I know. I got injured one
Yeah.
year, and that kind of the end of it. So.
Yeah, it's a little competitive. Anytime it's staff versus students or faculty versus students, it's very competitive.
So what other activities do we have?
Oh, we have plenty of things to keep everyone busy. On Mondays, we still have our $2 movie night for anyone that wants to come out and catch the latest movie.
Well, tell us a little bit about that. What movie theater are we talking about?
We're talking about Silver Screen 7, just down the road. We keep it nice and convenient for everyone.
And that's one of our alumni, you know.
What is it?
Robbie Pugh, who owns Silver
Of course,
Screen. He's
yes.
one of our alumni.
Yes. He also owns the Pippin Huts down there, so you know, a lot of our kids go down there and get ice cream too.
Yeah, he's been very good at hiring several of our students as well to work there. So we're well represented there.
And we also have a lot of dorm activities we do as well. Our RAs do good with keeping the kids active in the downtime, and those are usually falling on Tuesdays, I've seen. And we also have Joe Deuce coming up. He's a comedian, super funny guy.
Joe Deuce, as in 2? Okay.
2, yeah, sure. We already had him once, so now he's got to come back twice. That's the Deuce part.
Ah, I see.
And he's very good. We had him here at the beginning of the semester, and we just had to bring him back again.
Was he one of those comedians that was on the list that our freshmen coming in had to go see an activity?
Yes, he was. He was here in the fall. He actually, because I'm kind of doing the multicultural affairs position also this year, that was one of the things we brought in as one of the multicultural affairs. He is an African American comedian, and he's actually worked in student life for several years before he went out on the comedian tour, you know, touring the different colleges. And when he came in the fall, it's the first time I'd ever met him, and he really impressed the kids. I mean, he talked their talk. He, you know, he was right on their level. He said things they related to. He made them laugh like, you know, no one I've ever seen before. So at our last planning board meeting, when we were looking at our end of the semester kind of activities, I said, you know, what do you guys want? And they said, we want Joe Deuce back. So he'll be coming back to do another show. Yeah,
my son is a student here, and he went to that entertainment venue. I want to say concert, but it's not a concert for a comedian. And he loved him. He thought he was hilarious.
He did a really good job. Really impressed.
So what else do we have coming up?
We've got bowling coming up every Thursday. $1, you get to go bowl your heart out.
Now, what time does that take place?
This is from 9 to 11 p.m. and it's going to fall on the 24th this month. So anyone can go out to the Sky Lanes down in Gallipolis and go bowl.
Skyline Lanes. Yeah, they've been a big supporter of us in the past as well, too.
They have. It helps because we're such a large community or commuter population to work with the community, to do the movie night, to do the bowling night. We're looking at maybe doing something at Skatesville now that the skating rink is open again. You know, we try to do the trip to Kings Island. We try to work with the Columbus Zoo to do something there. Anything to get our students involved and give them an opportunity to be active. It's difficult because we are such a large commuter population to keep students involved in campus life. You know, for bubble soccer, you know, it's from 8 to midnight, and if you're a commuter and you've been home since 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it's hard to come back out. You know, gas money and time away from your family, and you might have things to do. So we try to make sure that there are opportunities for everybody of all ages, commuters, residents. And again, these are activities that are you know, spearheaded by our students. We work with the student planning board. Everybody gets those emails too. And it's important that if you want to get involved, you do get involved. I think the one thing that I speak to my gateway classes when I go in is, you know, Rio is a small campus and we are in a small rural setting, but we do have a lot of the amenities you would find at an Ohio State, at an Ohio University. And if you choose to get involved, if you choose to make the most of your college experience, we have those opportunities here. And it's great, and you can come and be involved and you can have fun. But then I don't want people to sit back and say there's nothing to do, because I have the calendar and I have, you know, I do the POs, and I know that that's not accurate. So it's just important that if you want something to do, you need to be part of it. And if that means being part of the planning board or sending me an email to tell me something you're interested in, that's what you need to do.
Yeah. So we have plenty of planned activities, but we also have some ongoing activities all the time. We have a fantastic rec center, right?
Right. The fitness center, the rec center, the pool, you know, the open gym availability. That's something that you should probably take advantage of. A lot of the things that college students don't understand, and I didn't understand, was, you know, when these 4 or 5 years are over, you start paying taxes, you start having, you know, your job is real, your
Welcome
time
to the world,
is,
yes.
and you don't have a lot of the opportunities. So that's why I try to offer as many free or, you know, cheap things that I can, because it's hard. It's hard to, you know, pay for an $8 movie every Monday. So we do it for $2. It's hard to go bowling and bowl a couple games that cost you $10, and so we do it for $1. And it can't always be free, but you know, if there's free food or free pizza or free movie, you just really ought to take advantage of it.
So we not only have the rec center, but we also have the red zone. What kind of activities go on in the red zone?
Well, the red zone is simply the students' rec area. I mean, you know, there's opportunities for ping pong and pool. We've got pinball and arcade games. We've got the movie theater. And it's whatever, again, the student makes of it. If they just want to sit and watch a movie or sit and watch SpongeBob, or, you know, play it, and they watch SpongeBob. I'm not kidding about that. It's on the TV when I come in a morning. But you know, it's whatever they choose to make it, and it's open Monday through Thursday. You know, 11 a.m. to midnight. It's open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 4 p.m. to midnight. We added the additional hour to midnight because, again, the students said we'd like for you to stay open later, so I worked the schedule around that. And that's a rec center for the students. I'm probably the only staff or faculty that you see in there, and that's just, you know, rarely for a little bit each day.
So we talk a lot about our commuter students here, but we have a lot of residents here as well, right?
We do. We have a very good population of residential students. The majority of them are athletes. They live on campus, and they're our residential population. And it's important that we have a good housing staff, and we try to make sure we do that every year. And they offer opportunities in the dorms, because it's easy for commuters to come and go home, and then at home they have their life. But you know, when, like Shelby, you're a residential student and you just ate dinner and you don't have any homework to do, and what are you going to do for the rest of the evening? So hopefully with our housing staff and our RAs and SLCs, you know, they find things to do in the dorms. You know, we have cereal parties, or they have, you know, Xbox, you know, tournaments, or whatever it may be. And again, the RAs communicate with the residents, and they say, what would you like to do? What would you like to see happen on our floor? So it's all about student participation. I mean, you have to let your housing staff, you have to let me, you have to let the planning board know what you want to do.
So tell us a little bit about residential life here on campus. Other than these activities that you mentioned, what do you do on campus with your other classmates that are living in the dorms?
Well, our rooms are set up that way. We're mostly with the athletes that we participate in sports with. So on my floor, a lot of the girls are track, and on the opposite side, they're the boys. And I live in Wellness Hall. We do everything, like from movie nights to going out together. Whenever all your friends are in the same place, it's like you're in your own little world. So it opens a whole world of opportunities, whether it just be a day where you study, whether it be a day where you just want to bring out a coloring book. It just depends on what you feel that day. We'll go out on nice days, sometimes put a blanket down and just do homework outside. It just really depends on what we feel like that day.
Yeah, I found that real interesting. Just last week, there was 2 desks sitting on the front lawn of Wellness.
Yeah.
And 2 guys were just sitting out in the front yard studying. I thought that was really interesting.
Always a good time to be outside, yeah. And it's nothing to have your friends come up and say, let's go get a Frisbee tournament going on. So then we all meet on the soccer field. Everyone does their own thing. We do football, and we have a little bit of basketball every once in a while. Just mix it up a little bit.
Very interesting. What other events have we not talked about that we need to talk about that's coming up?
Well, we also have our Save a Life tour coming up soon.
Save a Life tour?
Yes.
What's that all about?
This is about impaired driving. It's about drug use, and what it does is it lets students simulate what it would be like to drive drunk, what it would be like to drive impaired. And this is kind of a fun activity that we can kind of feel a little weird and like
fun,
see what
but
it's
yet
like.
Very serious.
Very serious, and it just, there's no way that you can justify how important it is that the students understand that this is not something that can happen. Even though it's a fun activity now, it's so serious.
Have you ever had the beer goggles on?
No, I haven't. So it'll be quite an experience for me too.
My wife works with the Carteens program in Gallia County, and they actually have a set of the different goggles that you put on that could show where you're physically at different stages of alcohol intoxication. It's serious. You don't realize until you put those on, you know, how impaired you actually are. So that's a great activity coming up.
Oh yeah. We hope we have a lot of people come out for that.
We actually have a set of those goggles through the grant that I run, and every April, because it's Alcohol Awareness Month, we usually do the Alcohol Awareness Survey, and then we also do the goggles activity. But this year, instead of putting students in a golf cart with goggles on, we're going to do the Save a Life tour, which also does texting and driving. So it's going to simulate, you know, all of us have our smartphones, all of us have our phones and our technology at our fingertips, and probably more of us than would care to admit have texted and drove before. So another thing with the Save a Life tour is it'll put you in a simulator to show what impairs you with texting and driving. And again, like Shelby said, you know, it's funny, haha, to watch your friends, you know, run over the little dog, or, you know, to wreck and hit the tree when you're in the simulator. But the reality is this really happens.
Right.
So what I'm hoping with people who choose to come, and I hope that everyone takes advantage of this, it's going to run in Conference Room C from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., is to come and check it out and just to test, you know, how well do you drive if you're texting, or how good of a driver can you be if you're impaired because of alcohol or other drugs.
Yeah, one of the my son helped present at the Cartoons, and he actually did the math one day, and apparently the average text, you actually look down at your phone for, I don't know, 3 or 4 seconds, and at driving 60 mile an hour, I was amazed at how far you actually go in that distance, and it is really quite dangerous. So, what other events do we have coming up?
Well, since spring is around the corner, we have a lot of our activities as of athletics coming up. We have baseball and softball on Saturday, March the 26th, 1 at noon, 1 at 1. And this will be interesting to see. We also have more games on the 18th and the 25th of March. And we're also having Delta Theta's putting on a rave on the 17th.
A rave?
A rave.
St.
Okay.
Patty's Day dance. But
Yeah.
Ah,
Rave.
okay.
That's the cool term.
Yeah, I wouldn't know
I
about
wouldn't
that.
either.
That's beyond me. So do you dress up in green?
Lots of green.
Lots of green.
You don't want to get pinched.
Other activities we might have coming up?
Well, we do have the track team in April doing the conference meet again at our school, which has only happened a couple times in the past 20 years, which is a big deal for us, a new track. And now we get to have the student body come out and support us too at a convenient location.
Good. I'm getting signals from off campus from Pat, and, or off camera.
Another activity.
Oh, another activity. Oh, our business coming up. What's the date on that, Pat?
March 16th.
March 16th. Do you want?
1:30.
Do you want me to share that?
Yeah, it's right in front of you. Turn it
Oh,
over.
right.
Well, yeah, I got to do this.
Oh,
Oh yeah, our business security forum. I had totally forgot about that. We spent all last week talking about this. Yeah, privacy. It's a big issue right now going on in business, and we have some very good guest speakers that are coming out. They're going to be talking about banking, cybersecurity, legal responsibility, fraud abuse, mobile device security, and personal safety. And that's all going to be taking place here on campus from 9 a.m. to 1:30. And our speakers are Ryan Lippy. He is consumer educator with the Consumer Protection Office with Mike DeWine. Mike DeWine, I believe, is going to be interviewed by our president, and that'll take place next week.
The 14th, Monday, that Monday.
14th. Gabe Stewart is going to be here with Ohio Valley Bank. Tommy Saunders with Tom Saunders life insurance attorney at law office, and Scott Board is going to be talking about personal security. So we've got that coming up. Speaking of business, you've been awful busy doing this internship. How has this internship prepared you for life after Rio and career in business?
It's definitely given me more of a sense of time management. I noticed that ever since I've been working with Dena, getting things together has been a lot easier whenever you have that experience with them. I've learned so many people skills, how to approach different groups. That's always helpful in the future. And being a physical therapist, I feel like I'll encounter that a lot. It's been a great experience just to work with people of all different walks. I see people, different areas, business owners. I see people that are employees. I see other students, and it helps you get a sense of how people will react to you.
Well, one other piece of experience that you got today was joining us on our show.
Yes.
You have done a fantastic job on
Thank
television
you.
today. I know you were very nervous at the beginning of the show. You've done
Just
a wonderful
little
job.
bit.
Dena, it's going to be difficult replacing her when she leaves.
it is, and hopefully that won't happen. Maybe she'll be one of these, 5-year seniors or 6-year seniors, or maybe she'll just stay forever.
Yeah.
She's done a great job. She really has.
So we've only got a few minutes left. What else would we like to talk about today? Upcoming events or?
Well, I think I would like to mention our Student Senate, because we would have had either the president or the vice president or even the secretary, but they're at midterms on their way to nationals, and then one's in bed sick. So Student Senate is another hat that I wear. I'm the advisor for that group.
First of all, explain what Student Senate is.
Student Senate is the governing body for the students at the University of Rio Grande. The vice president, the president, the secretary, the senators are all students, and I just advise from a administrative point. They make make things happen, so to speak. You know, if we need the parking lot and line center relined, or if we need, you know, a gazebo out by Davis Hall, they're the ones that get it done. You know, there's a constitution and there are certain rules and regulations that they follow, but they're your eyes and ears on campus. If you have a problem or concern, you know, if you want Silas to talk to the president about something, or you want, you know, Nikki to get more trash cans somewhere. I mean, some things are real simple and some are complex, but Student Senate is a vital part of the student government for the University of Rio Grande, and we really need more students to get involved. We have several students graduating, and we'll be looking for new senators for the fall. And you know, all the information's on the website, the Constitution, the senators are on there. It's not a hard job. It's actually very rewarding. It'll look great on a resume. It'll teach you networking skills. You know, some of the skills that Shelby talked about with organizations and people skills. I mean, it's an excellent opportunity to get involved with your campus.
One thing we haven't mentioned, our Greek life.
Our Greek life is huge actually here on campus. If you look at the number of sororities and fraternities we have, that's what I mentioned earlier. It's very comparable to what you would see at an Ohio University or University of Cincinnati. If you're interested in Greek life, all that information's on the website. There's different organizations, you know, with different missions. I think everybody could probably find something that fits them, whether it be through sports, whether it be through Greek life or student organizations. I think that the University of Rio Grande has a whole host of opportunities if people would just choose to get involved.
Well, Dena, I certainly do thank you for joining us today on the show.
Thank you for having
Shelby,
me.
you're
It's
not
a
nearly
pleasure.
as nervous now, are you?
No, not at all.
So it's been a pleasure speaking with these two ladies today about the things that are going on campus, how our students who are our customers for the University of Rio Grande, how they've been satisfied with all the activities that go on throughout the year. We're very lucky to have these two ladies in charge of those those organizations, and we'd like to encourage all of our students to get more involved, to come out, take part in these activities and join in some of the different activities and get involved in the University of Rio Grande's activities. I'm Jason.
I'm Dena.
I'm Shelby.
Thank you for listening.